Hello and welcome to another mechanics video. Today I will show you how to remove the downsides of implementing Exchange Active Directory split permissions, and I hope this will enable more organizations to implement it. First, we need to understand the security issues we face in the normal model, and they come from Exchange by the default installation getting granted critical permissions on the domain root level that then get inherited down. And even when we protect certain OUs by disabling this inheritance, we will not do this for certain system folders and objects that would still remain vulnerable. For this, Microsoft introduced the Exchange AD split permission model in Exchange 2010. And the key aspect it will do is it will remove those dangerous permissions, so not every permission, but just the ones that have security implications, from the domain root. It will also change something with the Exchange Windows permissions group that has held these permissions. It will get moved to an OU that is out of reach for the Exchange admin. The nesting into this group of the other Exchange group, the Exchange Trusted Subsystem, will be removed. And the Exchange internal RBAC permission model will be adjusted to the new system. Now we have the security benefits of there no longer being some escalation path potentially to the domain level, but with this come the negative effects that some of the commandlets will no longer work, mainly in creating, deleting objects, group memberships, and send as permissions. So this will force some adoption for admins, help desk staff, or identity management systems, which I think has prevented adoption of this security feature in the past very often. So I tried to find a way around this and to mitigate the issues so we can adopt it more easily. And so I wondered, what if we could just have the permissions where it's needed, maybe on all the end user and computer OUs where regular admins already have some permissions. And I found out that this is possible. And then we do no longer have the problem that on every OU or container, these permissions are a threat to us. This is done in two areas. One area is that we have to make up for the permissions lost by implementing the Exchange split permissions. And up front, we can analyze the Exchange admin log on where these actions that got removed or are no longer working were used in the past. So we can exactly see where we need to grant permissions again and maybe optimize permission and delegations in that phase as well. So then we will create a dedicated group for re-granting these permissions, so we exactly know what we have done because it will only be this group. And for the granting of the permissions within Active Directory, I've created a script that is available on the Glückanja GitHub page for download, where you can then delegate the needed type of permissions on the OUs where you need them, so the commandlets are able to do the changes in Active Directory again. The next step is the Exchange RBAC model, and as said previously, there were some adjustments, so some commandlets or its parameters were removed from the admin, and now we can easily grant them again. So we have those available. And with that, we are already done. We can now continue to use all these commandlets shown before, again, as we were used to, because on the specific organizational units, Exchange will have the permissions again. But it will not have significant power over other objects that we do not intend to. But one warning, now we removed critical permissions from Exchange, but now we also need to make sure that the admins logging on don't expose high-level credentials on this system. So the Exchange servers should now be treated as so-called Tier 1 systems, and a domain admin should not log onto that. Make a dedicated account for the Exchange admin if he has both roles. So a compromised Exchange server will not threaten Active Directory completely. And on a quick side note, some will already be far enough along maybe cloud transition to get rid of their last Exchange server. And for those serverless Exchange implementations, there's the same risk involved, because the default guidance from Microsoft will also apply the practically similar permissions on the domain root level. But there is a parameter to the script used by Microsoft that you can use to get the same result and the same security by only deploying the permissions where we actually need them to maintain the Exchange objects. Thank you for your interest. More details, the exact commands and link to my script and everything will be in a separate blog post linked down in the description. Thank you.